Hello everyone, I'm Carthu and welcome back to the Dojo. Today we'll be discussing another what if. This time it's what if Beerus fought God of Destruction Toppo. Don't worry though, this won't be a straight versus battle. I will be laying out a scenario in which these two could actually encounter each other and have a proper fight, as well as go over the logistics of how a fight like this might go down and why one character would beat the other. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Video intro. So to start off, as many of you know, gods of destruction are not allowed to fight one another, and because of this, we know that Toppo is a god of destruction in training, therefore he'd probably fall under the same jurisdiction of gods not being allowed to fight each other. I think that makes sense that you couldn't kill the apprentice of, say, a rival god of destruction. Not to mention, Toppo is in another universe, which would be completely inaccessible to Beerus without Whis' help, and Whis would probably not help him go fight another god of destruction in training or god of destruction. And as we know, the only reason him and Champa even battled is because they were in the same room with each other. Doesn't seem like Beerus is really going out of his way to face anybody else in the other universes. He specifically went out of his way to look for the Super Saiyan God in his own, rather than go fight other people in other universes that may already have strong people in existence. With all of these restrictions in place, I will now lay out the scenario that these two could actually encounter each other. You see, right after the Tournament of Power, Belmod is ready to retire. As we know, who's in line to replace him? It's none other than Toppo. So Toppo must be approved by the Zenos before he can replace Belmod officially. Toppo is brought forth to meet the Zenos and hear their judgment, but the two Zenos decide to go about this approval process a little bit differently. They tell the Grand Priest to take them to the World of Void. They will find another god of destruction to fight Toppo as his test. The first person that is asked is Beerus, because his universe won the Tournament of Power, and thusly he is perceived to be a good god of destruction amongst the bunch. He accepts this offer as to not disappoint Zeno or get on their bad side, and so Beerus is taken to the World of Void. Beerus and Toppo face each other. The Grand Priest tells them to begin, and Beerus charges forward quickly and overpowers Toppo with little effort. Now this is Toppo in base, of course, and Beerus, having been at the Tournament of Power, says that this was less fun than he had expected, and that Toppo was far stronger in the Tournament of Power. Toppo agrees, and even admits to Beerus that he hasn't used that power-up since the tournament itself. Beerus tells him to power up and give it a shot, and Toppo does. And with that, Toppo is actually able to access the form again. He is once again God of Destruction Toppo. This is where the real fight begins. As a quick note, before we get into the arguments and how one character would beat the other in this situation, there's something a lot of people need to realize. Experience does not necessarily translate to victory in these types of fights. There's a lot of examples I could provide, but the most obvious to me is that Roshi has been training for 300 years, and Goku has been training for less than 40, but Goku would be the far stronger of the two. Your experience level does help in some situations, as shown with Roshi against some of the people in the Tournament of Power. His experience is what carried him, but that experience can only carry you so far. As we also saw in the Tournament of Power, raw power does eventually take over the experience gap. And experience in Dragon Ball is a little bit different than experience in real life. In this case, they're not really correlated to power. Experience gives you a certain different aspect of your fighting than just power, like it may in real life alongside those other aspects. So, with that being said, I do still think that Beerus wins the fight, despite what I just said about the whole experience thing. I just wanted to say that for the sake of future videos. In this case, though, Beerus having more experience is not the reason he wins. Don't worry, I'm not gonna just completely dismantle my whole argument from 2 seconds ago. Basically, it comes down to one certain thing, and that is Beerus being more comparable to full-power Jiren and Broly. Now when I say full power Jiren, that is before Jiren loses his shirt and gains that fiery, almost UI looking aura. This is the Jiren that was fighting Goku in episode 129, who was at the very peak of his power, doing his best to stay alive and to win the fight. You then have Broly. Broly is a different case here. Now Broly, I'm talking about more so even his Super Saiyan level of power. Super Saiyan Broly was enough to scare away Vegeta Blue and Goku Blue at the same time, and you also have the fact that Broly isn't stated probably stronger or possibly stronger than Beerus until he goes full power Super Saiyan, not just regular Super Saiyan. So his regular Super Saiyan form, which was taking on Gogeta and such, is most likely nearing that Beerus tiering, and you also have his next level, the full power Super Saiyan, that's probably only slightly above Beerus if he's only a probably. If a character is much stronger than another, there's more definitive terms used than probably, possibly, or whatever. From the use of Jiren and Broly, you then have the question, is a Vegeta Blue evolution during the Tournament of Power stronger than Broly or Jiren? And you would most likely say no if you are paying attention to the series at all. And because of this, that very Vegeta being the one that beat Toppo in the Tournament of Power, God of Destruction Toppo no less, well, that's not looking good for Toppo when fighting Beerus, is it? Back to the narrative side of events, Toppo quickly realizes he's outmatched. The pressure Beerus is outputting reminds him of Jiren. At this point, Beerus is actually trying a decent amount. He's not putting his full power in because he doesn't need to, but he's putting enough to win the fight. But he's noticing that the Zenos are starting to get bored at how one-sided things are, so Beerus starts to slow down, pace himself, lower his power just a bit, make it a bit more interesting for them, while still showing that he's the dominant force here. Not only is he getting himself praise for being so strong, but he's also looking good in the eyes of Zeno because he's entertaining them, which is something they care more about, seemingly, than even the care and well-being of the universes. Toppo continues to try his best to keep up with Beerus, but even with this lower level of power and speed, he still outmatches Toppo by a good degree. Enough so that the fight seems one-sided still. In an act of complete and utter desperation, thinking he may not get the God of Destruction seat if he doesn't win this fight, he starts to charge a massive Hakai. Toppo is charging one just like he did in the Tournament of Power, but Beerus quickly remembered and realized that Toppo takes far too long to draw the destruction energy needed to make a Hakai, and because of that he's able to quickly take advantage. While Toppo is charging his attack, Beerus decides to blindside him and knock him out cold. The fight is now over. Only minutes after it started, but that's all the Zenos really needed. As Toppo is hitting the ground, Beerus is as well, in a different way. His knee is touching the floor as he bows before the Grand Priest and the two Zenos. The two Zenos are very grateful for the entertainment that Beerus has provided, and they thank him for a job well done. The Grand Priest, on the other hand, is more about the business side of things, and asks what he thinks of Toppo as a potential God of Destruction. Beerus looks over at Toppo's unconscious body, and then looks back to the Grand Priest, and tells him that that person right there is more capable than most of the Gods of Destruction who are active right now. And with that answer, Beerus is sent back to Universe 7, where Whis starts acting coy with him about what has happened. Whis saw the whole thing and said he's very proud of Beerus for the way he acted and responded to the Grand Priest's question. He could have easily killed Toppo's prospect right there, but Beerus has changed in the past few years because of a certain someone. Beerus just ignores Whis though, and asks what to eat instead. Meanwhile, back in the world of Void, Toppo has just been healed by the Grand Priest, and is ready to receive his answer on whether or not he is ready to become the God of Destruction of Universe 11. The Grand Priest and the Zenos both smile at him and congratulate him. He has successfully acquired the position of God of Destruction for Universe 11, replacing Belmod without Belmod even needing to die, and what a wonderful position it was to replace. So, Toppo goes back to Universe 11 victorious, and now has his own planet, his own angel, and is ready to do his best as the God of Destruction of Universe 11. Thanks for watching. Leave your opinions, counterpoints in the comments down below. Hit subscribe and that notification bell if you want to stay up to date on the channel. Check out the Patreon and the t-shirt if you really want to support me. And don't forget to click those 2 videos above to go see some other great content on the channel. See ya!